On this episode of my swing evolution, I'm going to hit a set of Wilson X31 irons. These were the clubs I played as a junior. So check out this review and stay tuned. What is going on, YouTube? Oh my gosh. So I've been working on a book, as I've told you guys, and I'm just about to the last chapter. I'm 118,000 words into this bad boy, and it is really, really exciting. It's a book about a washed up golf pro who gets his mojo back and starts playing the best golf of his life after the age of 50. And it's a pretty fun story. And, of course, I'm drawing on certain things from my own memory and my own life in the game of golf. And one of the things that I recall is the first set of really good golf clubs that I got. So when I was in the 9th grade, the summer between the 8th and 9th grade, I won a golf tournament. And it was pretty cool. I shot 77 on the last day, and I was still like 5'2" or something. I don't know. I was a little tiny kid, and my dad decided he was going to buy me, the clubs that I coveted that were in the pro shop at the golf course. And the Wilson company, which at the time, Wilson staff, they won, I think, 62 PGA events with Wilson staff golf clubs. 62 majors. The Wilson staff was the premium golf club, and then there was one below it called the X31. And in the 9th grade, I shot a 1 under par round, 35 in a high school match. And I was writing about these X31 golf clubs because I was like, doing a flashback of the character when he was in high school. And I was like, what kind of clubs did I play back then? They were X31s. So I did a search on eBay, and look what I got here. I have got a box of golf clubs, and I haven't set eyes on these golf clubs since I made a tremendous mistake. Oh, let me tell you this part of the story. So I played my best junior golf with these golf clubs, and around the 11th, 12th grade, man, my game went off the train tracks. I got bigger, stronger, started swinging faster and faster. And those godforsaken GD magazines sold me on this idea of super light golf clubs with B swing weights. Not C, B. And they were like, machine testing shows that these are the most accurate golf clubs. They're longer and straighter. If you go from D down to B, you're going to hit the ball longer and straighter. And so I traded in my X31 golf clubs for these Sounder feather lights. And that was the beginning of the end of good golf for me. But I want to open these up. Okay, enough lamenting about that. But let's see what we have here. Show you these old school blades. Oh my gosh, guys. These actually look pretty. These look sweet. Oh, I didn't think they were gonna be in. These are in amazing condition, man. Look at these blades. These blades have that little muscle on the bottom, kind of like the Hogan Radial. So they were a little bit easier for me to hit as a younger player. But oh my goodness. Okay, the grips leave a little to be desired. These, grip right, swing right. Do you remember these grips? Guys, these were the grips back in the day. These golf clubs are beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm going to pull out the 3-iron. Look at this. These are all individually wrapped. Wow. Guys, this 3-iron looks basically like it's hardly been used. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. So, guys, I'm going to have to open all these up, but I'm going to bring these bad boys to the golf course right now. I'm putting them right in the bag. I'm going to test them, and I'm going to tell you guys how the old X31 forged blades with the black dot, how they feel 40 years later. As always, guys, don't forget to go to myswingevolution.com, pick up the over-the-top Miracle Swing, see what changed my golfing life forever. Better yet, pick up a subscription to MSE TV. It's just $8.33 a month if you buy a year. And the next MSE over-the-top Miracle Swing Intensive is October 29th and 30th. Come on out. The weather's going to be amazing, and we're all going to be better golfers. So let's go to the golf course and check out these X31s. All right, I hit a few balls to warm up, and this is the pitching wedge. And I was feeling pretty darn good with this thing. I felt like I was landing at a consistent distance, and it really felt solid. Hey guys, so my first impression with these X31s is they hit really solid, just like I remember. But it looks to me like this pitching wedge has about the loft of a sand wedge. Like, it sets really open at address, and I certainly don't hit it as far as my pitching wedge. I'm thinking these are 1 to 2 clubs weaker in loft. But, you know, I'm gonna have to pull out the swing caddy later and check my distances. So as I started to swing the pitching wedge full, it only seemed to go about 100 yards. It was nice, it felt consistent, and I was starting to think that, you know, I could play with these out on the golf course. That's a dream. So here I'm working on dropping my right elbow in and turning, because when I was in Mexico, I met Alfredo Ruiz at a really fancy restaurant at the top of a building. And Freddie was telling me that, you know, it's all about dropping into the position and then rotating with the core. So that's what I'm working on here. Nice solid hit. It's always fun to pick up a tip from a PGA Pro player. Alfredo played on the Latin America Tour, the Japan Tour, and he was having dinner with several Japanese businessmen. So now it's up to the 9-iron here, and thinking about continuing to turn through the shot here, my little over-the-top move. So my normal 9-iron distance is 140 yards, and that's with a smooth swing. I can hit it a little bit further if I need to, but I try and hit my irons maybe about 80 to 85%. I don't want to try and hit them 100%. I want to hit my number. But right here, I'm trying to get some distance out of this thing, because, you know, my 9-iron only goes about, I mean, it's probably going 120 yards right here. I'm like, what the heck? You know, these clubs are beautiful, they're solid, but they have a regular shaft, and the low center of gravity, I believe, might make me hit the ball a little bit higher. So you can see this 8-iron here. That looks like a modern pitching wedge to me, to be honest with you. So I think the flange, the low center of gravity, and the regular shaft is making me just, you know, kind of hit the ball much higher than I would think normally. So to me, that looks like a pitching wedge. And I kept wrestling with the fact that, you know, it's just your ego. Just hit your 8-iron from pitching wedge distance. If you need to hit it about 125, 130 yards, you just grab your 8-iron, and I could take my gap wedge out of my bag, or maybe even my sand wedge. I don't know if I want to do that. But these shots felt pretty darn solid, and I enjoyed the feeling of hitting these clubs for the first time in a long time. A lot of fun. So pretty soon I'm starting to realize that I need to figure out how far I'm hitting it. So I zapped a pin that's the 150 and I was trying to hit it with my 8-iron. Well, the range was moved up a little bit, so that pin was only 144 yards. And I'm sitting here trying to gas an 8-iron and I can't even get close to that thing. And it was starting to annoy me a little bit. So here I'm trying to flight the ball down and hook it in there. I mean, I don't want to try and do all these crazy things out on the golf course. I need to just hit my stock shot. But even there, I can't get close. So I'm like, okay, 144 yards. I should be able to get there, no problem with this 7-iron. So I start hitting it, and what I noticed is I was getting closer, maybe 140 yards, but I was starting to turn the ball over now. So with my swing, I'm trying to come a little bit over the top. It normally helps me hit the ball a little bit straighter, but with this 7-iron, I was just starting to turn it over more and more. So that was making me a little bit nervous before I grabbed my 6. So here I've got Shot Tracer out here to show you my 6-irons that I was hitting. Now this is where the ball started to turn over too much. So with that regular shaft on the 6-iron, and I'm trying to hit that 150 still, I just turn it over way too much. Here I try to really hold it off, and there's just no accuracy. Well, these wouldn't be so bad, but I can only hit a 6-iron like 150, 155 yards. Regular shafts, higher loft, little funky, but they feel solid, and it's really fun to go back and revisit these irons. So at the end of the day, they're not going to be a gamer club, but there's something I'm really, really happy to revisit because they were my favorite clubs growing up. They're easy to hit, they have a low center of gravity, and I think that they were just the perfect club for me when I was a junior. Hit them long and hit them straight.
Do you have trouble slicing the golf ball? How many times have you heard people tell you you're swinging over the top? That's your problem. You might just have a couple of things wrong that are keeping you from being able to hit the golf ball straight. What if I told you the natural motion of swinging over the top is actually the best way to hit the golf ball? Would you think I'm crazy? Everyday players to PGA Tour professionals are figuring this out, and it's changing their games forever.
Do you think you picked up some yardage since we've been working on this stuff?
On the driver, at least 50 to 60 yards.
It's dynamite.
It's crazy.
You don't have to be stuck with an over-the-top slice. You can actually have an over-the-top swing and pound it long and straight. So go to MSE TV and watch the over-the-top miracle today.
Transform your game at myswingevolution.com.